Good. Fuck. We're just gonna fill that bitch out. Oh, there you go. Oh shit. We did it. We did it. It works now. It should work now. Oh, never mind. Fuck. I created 2 on accident. Oh, it's probably making a fucking echo now. Uh-oh. Shit. Wait. Wait. Fuck. Hold on, America. I'm a Democrat. No, okay, no, it's on YouTube. I'm referring to YouTube because I'm currently fixing that audio right now. Mono. I need to get rid of this one. Fuck. Made a mistake there. I'm not gonna lie. No echo. Now we have volume. There you go. Yeah, there you go. We're good. Disabled. Apply. Okay, yeah, we're back. We're good. Everything's fine. Again, everybody make sure you're liking and sharing. How's it going, Jonathan? We're good. We're back. A lot of news today. Big news. The Democrats have won. That's right. The Democrats have won. Now, you may be asking me, that is not my second account. Hold on, I'm gonna ban you. I'm gonna ban you really fast. Hoyar Al Khamenei. I'm not gonna ban you. Actually, I'll keep you on. The Democrats had a huge victory. It didn't come in the form of an election win, rather policy. The Republicans are bending. Well, they already folded, essentially. We have successfully passed a bill that is funding the Department of Homeland Security, but excluding Immigration and Customs Enforcement. That's right, liberal. And CBP. They said it couldn't be fucking done. That's policy making, bro. Lock in. Lock in. Democrats and winning don't go together. Okay, I don't know what you have to say about the last year if that's the case. On YouTube, you guys watching on YouTube, is everything fine? Audio fine? Like it or not, the country needs both sides of the aisle. I tend to agree. We live in a 2-party system, and it's for a reason. 75 days, longest in history. I know. I mean, I think we hold the record for the 2 longest government shutdowns in the span of 1 year, correct? I'm pretty sure. Hold on. I mean, it is a partial shutdown, so do with that information what you will, but yeah. Yeah. In the span of 1 year, we have seen the 2 longest government shutdowns in American history. Yeah. Somehow they're going to find a way to blame that on Democrats. They're going to fucking manage to do it somehow, but hey. Stop trying to be Dean, Parker, Harry, or Hassan. Jesus Christ. I mean, fuck me. I can't do anything, can I? I can't do anything. First it's Dean and Parker, and now you're expanding it to encompass Harry or Hassan. I don't know what I can possibly do. I guess I just can't speak on politics because I'm going to be emulating somebody else, copying their shtick. Fuck me. It's tragic. By the way, if you're a Trump supporter, MAGA, you know the drill. Press the guest request. And to those of you that are enjoying it, make sure you like and share. Let's try and get to 10K likes. If you want to send single coin donations to boost viewership, you know the fucking drill. If you're on YouTube, like, please. That'd be greatly appreciated. Why should we? Well, if you agree, that's like the thing, right? Romo. Hopefully no Twitter hate comes on to TikTok or YouTube. Because I said some on Twitter. How's it going, man? You support Trump?
I do.
Okay, why is that, Romo?
Well, I think that we should be supportive of the president, especially during the negotiations with Iran. I don't think we can cut and run and leave Iran as an old hegemon of the world, since they now control the Strait of Hormuz, or at least exercise a type of control over the Strait of Hormuz that they hadn't done before.
Mm-hmm.
So Iran obviously doesn't
And
like
who's
us.
wait, just okay, relax, slow down. And who's responsible for that shutdown? The blockade, sorry, at the Strait of Hormuz.
Our attack on their country.
Okay.
Well, ours and Israel's attack.
Now, is Donald Trump responsible for it going sideways, or who's responsible for this outcome?
You mean responsible for the attack that led to the strait being closed? Yes. Yeah. Trump is
Okay.
a commander-in-chief. He would be responsible for that. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, if the president of the United States decided to enter an armed conflict with no real presence of an imminent threat or a necessity to engage in said conflict, don't you think that he should feel the wrath of the American people?
The wrath, how, and votes, you mean?
voting against him, losing
Sure, yeah.
support.
People
Yeah,
don't
so
give a shit.
this
They're not.
idea that we should support the president because he's currently going through a really hard time. America, the world is going through a really hard time. So this idea that we should all rally behind the president that is making everything worse, I think is redundant. It goes against what we should be trying to
It's
do, which
redundant.
is
How is it
make the
redundant?
country because it directly contradicts the goals that every single American should have, which is trying to make the country a better place. So
And how
removing
is that? And
leadership
how is that
that is no
redundant?
longer doing or never did their job effectively.
I guess I'm not. I don't think you know what the word redundant means. I mean, I agree with you, but I don't think it's redundant.
Okay,
I
well,
mean,
I guess
I
I'm
think you
still.
mean,
Hold on, let's
I think you
find
mean,
out the term redundant. Hold on, let's see.
I think you mean it's counterproductive to
Something
support a
unnecessary,
president
repetitive, or
who's
exceeding what
made a
is required,
mistake.
such as extra
And
backup components in engineering or superflows, words in
I think what
writing.
you're trying to say is
Yeah, it's
counterproductive.
fine. It's fine
It's
usage. It really doesn't
counterproductive for
fucking
America to
matter.
support him
It
because the
doesn't
war's
matter.
not going great. I think that's what you're trying to say.
It doesn't matter. It's fine. I'm not gonna hyperfixate
Okay.
on a fucking term.
Okay. So, so I guess I agree with. I mean, I think.
Okay, so wait, no, you
Well, we're
can't
going to
agree because you said
diverge.
you support the president. Do you still support the president?
Yeah, because we
Okay, then
can't
we don't
leave
agree.
Iran as an oil hegemon of the world. They don't
That's not
like
what
us
I'm.
very much.
I never said that we should.
Well, they
As
were
a matter of
going
fact,
to if we
no,
don't
we're likely not
escalate.
going to. You think the president is going to
Oh,
take an
so
off
you
ramp
agree
when he
with
should?
me? So you agree with me that we should escalate the
No,
war against Iran then?
no.
Okay, so what should? Okay, I'm saying that we should. So you're saying to do what? Just leave and be like sorry about that and leave?
I don't have a good answer. I think Donald Trump has put us in a really tough spot, and there will be severe losses regardless of whatever they decide. But if you are of the idea that civilian casualties and I guess destroying America's standing on the global stage, if those things are important to you, then you probably should be against any form of escalation because it's already really bad. It's an illegal conflict, and I don't think I trust the administration with carrying out an offensive. When I mean, for the 9 weeks that this conflict has been ongoing, the 60 days from the onset, February 28th of this year, we've seen just disgusting attacks time and time again, mismanagement, just ineptitude, I guess, and even then, that's taking away some of the responsibility. It's just evil. It's really evil. And I don't think I want to see that continue. So if that involves the United States taking a loss, the world taking a loss, I don't know. It's a tough spot, and it's all Donald fucking Trump's fault, which is why he needs to be voted out.
No, okay, this is a okay. So I mean, it's kind of I'm trying to make sense of your position. So you said that you don't we shouldn't support Donald Trump
No.
because he started this war. But then when I
Yes.
ask you what we should do about it, because I agree with you,
You
we are in a tough
recognize.
spot. You're
Hold on.
saying
You
I
you
don't know what we're gonna
recognize
do, but we shouldn't support him anyway.
you recognize that that is a sound position to not have a solution when it comes to grappling with the idea of either escalating a conflict and supporting an administration that time and time again has showed no remorse for a civilian life, for the life of our service members, for international law, for domestic conduct that is on our books, like fucking war crimes, like no quarter, no mercy, the statement that Pete Hegseth made. Sorry, I don't know how you can possibly believe or rationalize being sorry, the idea of going to war, on escalating. Sorry, we're already at war, on escalating the conflict. And I mean, if you decide to step back, if you look for an off ramp, there's going to be a number of huge losses for the United States. So I don't know what we should do. That's the answer. But what I do know is that we should get him the fuck out of office. That I'm
Well,
comfortable with saying.
don't you agree? Well, at the very least, don't you agree a negotiated settlement where that we can live with is better than going to war with him, with Iran?
Yeah.
Like
We
escalating the
already had
conflict?
that, but yeah, sure. If we can try and somehow find a way to do this.
Well, aren't we doing that now? Aren't we negotiating with Iran now?
I mean, just like in the worst way possible. I mean, we're sending Donald Trump's son-in-law, and then we're acquiescing to all their requests. When the parliament leader asks for JD Vance to present himself in Pakistan, in Islamabad, they send him because they know that they're going to dominate JD fucking Vance because he doesn't want to be in this war. I just think that the way the United States has responded to diplomacy either shows a lack of, I guess, desire to want to engage in diplomacy, and it is showing their stance from the jump, showing what they actually want to do. So yeah, even when it comes to diplomacy, I don't think I trust the Trump administration and getting us out of this hole that they dug. because they're really bad at that already. They kind of just jump to shooting rockets and shit.
Okay, but to get back to your prompt, it sounds like you support the GOP, or at least the president who is part of the GOP,
I said
in
it says
continuing
wait, no.
negotiations.
It says Republicans are bad for America. How does that mean I
It,
support the GOP?
it says, how can you support the GOP? So the way you're supporting the
Yeah,
GOP
and
is
what's
that
the
you
thing above
support the
it? What's the thing above
administration
it?
negotiating
What's
with
the thing
Iran.
above
So
it?
you do support
What's
it.
the thing above it?
Well, you have two prompts. One is saying
No, it's not
Republicans
one
are bad for
prompt. They like
America, and then
follow.
the other one says, how can you
Consider it
support the
like a
GOP?
prefatory fucking clause, I guess, with the
Okay, and then
next
the other one
question.
says request up. So
You can stop talking. I can explain to you what they mean because it's clear that you don't have the reading comprehension skills of like a 5-year-old. So when I say Republicans are bad for America, and then I follow it up with a question of how can you support the GOP, I think it's clear that I am conveying a message that it is almost inconceivable to support the current Republican Party. You recognize that, right? I feel like that's pretty obvious.
no, I mean, I guess if you put it that way, but that's not
What do you
obviously
mean? That's
stated in
the
the
way it
prompt.
is. That's what it
No,
is.
I can
I
I can
literally just
bifurcate.
read to you what's on screen verbatim.
I can bifurcate those statements. You can be one or the other. I could
What?
agree with you. I
How
could
can I
agree with you.
say? Wait, how could I be supporting the GOP when right above that question? And by the way, there's a Democratic candidate on that banner. That's James Salarico. Right above that question is Republicans are bad for America. How does that make any
Well,
sense?
I'm just saying it's up to interpretation. I mean, obviously, you want to
I'm
say
not
it means
asking you
one
whether or
thing.
not it's subject to interpretation. Maybe interpretation by a fucking child, but if you're a normal human being, if you're above, I don't know, maybe 10 years old, you'll probably
Right.
be able to understand what's happening. Yeah?
Sure, sure.
Yeah?
Okay,
Okay.
so you are supportive of the administration's attempt to, even though you don't think it's perfect, they should do their tactics should be different. You still support the idea that we should be trying to seek a negotiated settlement to the war in Iran. Wouldn't you would agree
You
with that,
should
right?
you should you should exhaust all other forms sorry,
Okay,
all
is
other
it
measures towards diplomacy, sorry, towards a resolution prior to ever entertaining the idea of going to
so
like in a full out war, yeah.
okay? So like me, you support what the Trump administration is
No,
doing
that's not what that
with Iran
means.
right now. Okay, so we shouldn't be negotiating with Iran then.
The Trump administration is negotiating really well, is that what you're saying? I don't think they're
Yeah,
negotiating well.
I never said well, but we are negotiating.
So if this entire time I have been talking down on the administration and questioning their ability to do anything right, you believe that I'm supportive of the ongoing negotiations or the idea of negotiating prior to ever escalating the conflict?
It sounds like
You're
you're
like
supportive
you
of
have
both.
really bad comprehension skills.
Sounds
Like
like you're
just
supportive of both.
across the board.
It sounds like you're supportive of both.
It doesn't sound like that at all. I don't think any reasonable person can possibly interpret my words as to being supportive of the current administration.
At least when it comes to this issue, at least when it comes to negotiations with Iran, it sounds like you're supportive.
No.
I mean, okay. I mean, I think anyone listening would say you are, but that's okay.
Okay. Is
You
there
don't want to
anything else you want
agree
to
at
talk
all.
about? No, I don't want to agree
No,
at all. I
no,
don't think you should give the administration an inch because they
no.
definitely don't
I thought
fucking
we
deserve it.
disagreed, but we both agree with that. We should
We
be
don't agree.
voting.
We don't agree. If there's anything else you want to talk about,
We can.
let me know. If not, I'll just kick you off.
It's fine. You can kick me off.
Okay. Like, what a waste of a conversation. Just put fucking words in my mouth, bro. Like, lock in, dude. What the fuck? Can't handle the truth? I guess not. Hey, it is what it is, liberal. Liberal. Sorry. Playboy. No fuel. Holy shit. Oh, and he's gone. If you're MAGA, by the way, make sure to press the guest request. Everybody, make sure you're liking, sharing the stream. The liking slowed down. You need to be doing it all the time. I hope you know that. You need to be liking all the time. Because if you don't like, then we're going to slow down. And we're not going to get any debates. And it's going to suck. You know. So like and share the stream. Let's try and get to 15K likes. How's it going, Poutine? I see you in the viewership, Ronald. My thumb fell off. Sorry. Nope. Not good enough. User nub. Liberal. Debate me. Rowdy Clark. Yeah, sure. I'll invite you up. Why not? Wait, was that Enzo? I could have sworn I saw Enzo joined. Hold on. Oh, shit. Must have been hallucinating. Feeling I'm being stalked. Hold on, let me invite you up, Clark. Rowdy Clark, you're being invited up. Make sure you press it. Press the accept the invite. Sorry. How's it going, Rowdy? Clark?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, brother. I'm assuming you support the current
Uh,
administration.
I don't fully support it, but I have 22 years in the United States Marine Corps,
Okay.
and I've been in that particular area of the world. And all I saw when I was over there was a need to stop the. It basically comes down to Islamic domination. Do you agree?
I'm against religious fundamentalism in all forms, whether that be at home or overseas. But you recognize that the current administration is not looking to change the government, right? Or its architecture.
I believe that the Trump administration is up to a lot of things that nobody knows about. And I'm not sure if it's coming actually from Donald Trump or people directly in his administration or the people who are donating to his campaigns or campaigns of Republicans. As you know, probably the corporate world is supporting things and not supporting things, and that's what sways politicians to do what they're doing. There's got to be something
I think,
involved with
I think them
oil.
op. Okay, I think them operating in secrecy is convenient. If that's what you believe, because the administration is out in the open when it comes to just about everything that they do. So this idea that they'll
But they
hide,
don't.
I hope you know if,
But
if
they
the
don't
goal
tell you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
if the goal
Apologize.
is like regime change, I'm pretty sure they can make a better argument to the MAGA base that would probably retain some
Mhm.
support from voters if the goal is like anti-Muslim rhetoric, but they haven't done that. They don't really have a
I really.
position. They said it was going to initially be
I,
to stop them from obtaining a nuclear weapon. That clearly is no longer
right.
the goal. Now it's to just open up the Strait of Hormuz. Like there is no coherent reason as to why we're in this war. At least not one that has been stated by the
The
administration.
nuclear the nuclear weapon argument's been going on for over 40 years since the Shah of Iran was thrown out and exiled to the United States, and the Ayatollah Khomeini, which you probably weren't even alive when that happened. I'm not criticizing your age or anything like that. It's just that a lot of younger people don't understand what went on in the 70s with
I can read history
Iran
books.
and yeah, well, I mean, but living through it and me being in the military, I was in the military during that time. I'm 62 years old, but having been there and been in the Middle East and seeing the extremism and all that using oil to take countries hostage and to sell it, to utilize that money for weapons against other countries who don't believe like they do. And Iran has proven time and time again they're very unstable. Their governments. I'm not saying the Iranian people, because the Iranian people are really nice people. They're just like you and
I feel
I.
I I,
I'm
I, I
talking to.
agree. I
I'm
feel like we're losing track here. I
okay. What?
depose
What?
the
I'm not.
government. I depose the government of Iran. I don't know necessarily its elected body, but the actual decision making body, the IRGC, the Guardian Council, the Ayatollah. I don't
Yeah.
support those things. If I'm a liberal, if I like democracy, obviously I'm going to be against a unelected group of
Right.
individuals
Right.
making up your government, deciding policy with no input from the people. That's going to suck, right? But at the same time, I just don't see how we could be supporting the current offensive. Do you support the current offensive?
Yeah, I do. I do. I think that something needs to be put in place, something needs to be combated that will keep that administration over there, whatever it is, from gaining nuclear weapons and from stockpiling missiles and long range missiles. And, they're habitual liars. They said they had missiles that would only travel 1,200. Now we found out they can travel 2,500.
Well, that
These
in and
are
of
all
itself is not cause for war. Military, even
well,
adversaries, can build up their capabilities without that warranting an all-out conflict.
Right, but when you put unstable people in that situation, and I'm not going to argue about Russia because Vladimir Putin is pretty unstable. Xi is not, he's not unstable. But when you have unstable people and extremists who hate other religions and other cultures, who've been part of terror attacks in this country, yeah, the government will get a little bit skittish. And I think that Trump is trying to, with his MAGA movement, make America great again. He's going after certain things, the drugs. He's going after, with Venezuela and South America. I lived in South America for 8 years. I have children, and I have the mother. It's in Brazil. So I know kind of a lot about that stuff down there. And there's a lot. That's where a lot of drugs come from. So he's trying to stop that. And I don't know how much of an impact it's had. But the situation with Iran is, I guess, another thing that he's trying to check off his list of things that he wants to get under control. And we just did what did we do? We did an
But
operation last July. We did an
yeah, I
operation
believe it
last
was June,
July,
but yeah,
bombed the hell out of them. June or July, doesn't really,
yeah.
situationally, same thing. And
But
and
don't you think that
blew
bombing the hell?
everything up.
Yeah, and now
Oh,
we're
go
at
ahead.
war again. Don't you
Well,
think
because
that's
they didn't
like?
do what they were supposed to do.
But that's further instability when what you're looking for is security. You're trying to clean the mess up. You're just making more mess.
Right,
This
and that's
war in
why.
Iran has not only impacted the people of Iran, not only impacted the people in America, it's impacting the world. It's shaking up the global
Okay,
economy.
well, how is it shaking up the world besides the oil prices?
That's pretty significant, don't you think?
Well, it is. I mean, that's the goal that runs the world.
So
It's all
so
everybody talks about. It's stupid gas.
if we're destabilizing that market globally and simultaneously threatening our allies and our adversaries, doing all those things, I just don't see how this is a favorable outcome. I don't know how this is preferable to exhausting the living shit out of the idea of diplomacy, sending everybody more than just your your son-in-law and Jared Kushner and Waltz. Like I think we could definitely do more to avoid a global catastrophe like we're seeing now. So I
Well,
just
yeah,
don't.
they're
I
sending
think it's just.
nitwits there.
I think it's yeah. It's like a perfect example of an irresponsible government that is having what they initially believed to be. Yeah, Witkoff. Sorry, what they initially believed to be a really easy victory blow up in their face. And I can't get behind something like that because we're seeing the effects now, and they're likely to live far beyond Donald Trump's presidency and the way our allies view America and our predictability around the world. And I mean, if we were to escalate, that's a mass casualty event waiting to happen. Thousands of people have already died. Hundreds of soldiers are injured. 13 are dead. I just don't see how. I just personally can't be in support of that offensive when there's no clear path either as to why we're doing this to begin with. Because you have a lot
So
of
let me.
you have a lot of issues with the government, and I recognize that, and I do too. But they're not doing anything to change the structure of government. They're not doing anything to empower dissident groups. They're not doing anything to ensure a transfer of power. They're doing nothing. Donald Trump, 2 months before the conflict, I believe, is tweeting out telling the people of Iran that they need to go and seize the reins of power. Many people died because of that tweet, and many more are continuing to die. So I don't know how.
And David, what's your solution? Because if you're saying something's wrong, I've had this argument with numerous people. If you're saying something wrong, you have to have a solution. You can't just blanket say this is wrong and he shouldn't do this without having a solution.
He shouldn't have done this to begin with. So now that we're in the shithole that we're in, hold on. Let
yeah,
me
but you
explain
can't
it to
go
you.
back and change.
Yeah, I
You can't
recognize
go
that.
back
I
and change the
recognize
past.
that. But in retrospect, like, we should have never entered this conflict to begin with. He shouldn't have pulled us out of the JCPOA in 2018, if I remember correctly, and launched the maximum pressure campaign that led to a lot of the heightened tensions that we saw between the United States and Iran, even through the Biden administration. So now that we are in a really bad spot, I find it incredibly difficult to have a solution that doesn't result in some loss. But if the United States can successfully manage to find an off ramp that can change the way they will govern the Strait of Hormuz with respect to Iran, and maybe give us some path towards a even remotely amicable relationship in the future, if that's possible, that'd be great. That's probably the best case scenario. But it's going to be tough to give you a solution when we're in the worst possible outcome, where a solution or any off ramp is really not foreseeable as of this moment. But again, what I can do is tell you to vote in favor of a party that isn't going to get us into forever wars.
Oh,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
man.
Democrats have gotten us into wars. Republicans have gotten us into wars, and the only solution that I can see is having a regime change. I mean, you got to get
Regime
some
change where?
in Iran.
But the
Iran.
administration
I
is
mean,
not planning
but
on regime change.
you're not gonna change Donald Trump now. I mean,
So you got to get
you're
him out.
playing about him, huh?
That's
Well,
why you
he
have to get rid
doesn't
of him.
have an
But I'm curious, like, what I think a lot of Trump supporters do this.
work
Just
on
Republicans in
electing a
general.
Democrat
You
in the
you
next
hold on.
cycle.
You tend to substitute the administration's policy with your own preferred policy. The administration has done nothing has said nothing to make you believe that they intend on changing the government in Iran. So I just don't know. And even if that was the case, there's a lot that has to go into even thinking about the idea of launching a regime change in an adversarial country. And that's something the administration has not done. So I don't know how you can believe that the goal is regime change. That can be your desired outcome. That is not what's happening. That is, at least that's not what they're saying or doing.
I said specifically that was my opinion.
But
Okay, I'm
but
not a
you recognize that
politician.
you're defending the administration, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, David, I have a son who's 36 years old, who's ultra liberal. Ironically, he's a multimillionaire businessman. I don't know how that works, but it just comes from his wife and all this other crap. He argues these points all the time, which make no sense uh, to me. And he knows where my position is. And I'm not I told him I'm not a Donald Trump fan. He keeps trying to pin that on me. And he says, "Well, Dad, you support Donald Trump because of this and that and this and that." It's not ipso facto. It's not, well, you support this and you support that and you support this and you like to. Bro. I don't even watch the news anymore. I haven't watched the news for a year. I look at stuff on the internet. That's it. And I'm not talking TikTok and Facebook and all that stuff. I look at other sites to get my news because everybody can talk about the news, and Fox is propaganda, CNN's propaganda, MSNBC's propaganda, ABC, CBS, and NBC are all propaganda. They're all propaganda. There's no news anymore. And the sooner that people realize that, the better off they'll be. I'm an older guy.
I just don't see how this ties back into the war in Iran. Well, I agree that journalism isn't a really.
I'm just how it ties in is if you watch the news, your head's going to get all fucked up over bullshit.
I'm not
that doesn't
watching
even
the
matter.
news. I'm watching the
I'm
administration, their
talking
press
about.
briefings when they talk.
Well, don't you have a lot of people that are listening to this?
Yeah.
Maybe it can influence people to turn off the damn TV and start reading a little bit.
I recommend
I
they
mean,
do the
I'm
same, but again, the administration is not saying that they
well.
plan on doing regime
I
change.
Okay. Well, they have. They have
When did they
in the
say this?
past. I don't know the damn date. I don't know the time.
Well, you need to know this
I don't know.
information. You need to know this information if you're going to support what is an offensive that's been disastrous for the American people thus far.
You're trying to lure me into some sort of yelling match about
No,
Donald
that's not the
Trump versus
goal.
the
That's not the goal. I've actually
yeah.
been
Well,
incredibly respectful to you because I respect
no,
your
you have,
service for this country, and I'm not going to get into a shouting match with somebody who has sacrificed
David.
a lot in pursuit
You
of
have.
furthering American interests. So I don't want to get you with the gotcha. I want to have a genuine conversation with you.
There's no gotchas because I don't care. You can't get somebody who doesn't have
I'm not,
really a
but
thought
that's not my
on anything.
intention. I don't want to get you in a corner.
I see that.
I'm asking you a question because I haven't seen this.
I said I think that the only solution is regime change. You can get the people that are unstable, that are Islamic extremists out. Because we all know you're hiding under a rock if you don't know this. Let me finish.
Okay,
know
I
you're
got
trying
you.
to-
I got you.
You're percolating. We all know that when you have these people in power, they want to use weapons against infidels, and that's what a lot of this stuff has come from. I mean, the World Trade Centers didn't come down by a bunch of nice people just out for an Easter dinner and conjuring this up and then going, oh, whatever. And I believe that may not have been them. I think maybe the government did that. But I can't delve into that kind of crap. And what I'm saying is they need to get that crap out of there. And that's why the nuclear weapon thing. Oh, God. I gotta
It's
check
okay.
out, buddy. My
It's
fiance
okay.
is calling.
It's been good talking to you, man.
Okay.
You stay safe.
Take care, bud.
Likewise. I'm trying, yeah, I'm trying. I'm not gonna get into a shouting match with a veteran, bro. Lock in, bro. We care for our veterans, We love the veteran. They work so hard. They do so much, So for me to scream, it'd be so mean, I want to be nice to them. They deserve it. Given what they've sacrificed, But hey, fucking hell. Has Trump proved with his admin that he's good at judging character and would pick a new regime? Yeah, definitely fucking not. And that's another thing, right? We kind of already have a idea of what they view regime change to be. In the case of Venezuela, which a lot of people forgot about. Because, I mean, we've somehow managed to surpass it in scale. And obviously time, because it was relatively easy to unseat Maduro. We replaced him with this vice president. We did not liberate the Venezuelan people. We did not ensure elections took place and the people had their voice heard with no bad faith actors getting to intervene and change result. We didn't get that. They simply replaced the murderous dictator narco-terrorists with the murderous dictator narco-terrorist second in command. And they've done the same thing in Iran. Ayatollah was replaced with his son, but sadly this time around the replacement was not a softie who's going to sit down and take it and decide to cooperate with American companies that want to build up their oil infrastructure, which is crazy, by the way. Not enough people talk about that shit. We quite literally, the executive branch, carried out an armed conflict without informing Congress. I don't know why Senator, he's already gone. Without informing Congress, but they still informed the private sector. They collaborated with the private sector to go to war, but that's besides the point. So I just find it really odd how we're still looking to see what the administration's going to do when we know what they're going to do. They don't care to liberate the people of Iran. At least that hasn't been shown in the past. In the past, when they have an opportunity to remove an abusive leader or cabinet, and replace it with a better, more democratic one, they just replace the current leadership with somebody that's willing to work with the president. and the Trump administration and see their plans come to fruition and assist in that process. So I find it really difficult to agree with somebody that believes that regime change, that's what's coming from this, when in reality, there's literally no evidence of that. Trump has said it a number of times, but it doesn't align with their actions or the result of the conflict. I mean, Donald Trump says a lot of things, so I don't really look at him anymore. I don't really look at him anymore to really know where we're at. Because, first of all, he said that we're winning. He has said we've won this war at least, what, like 30 times? Just in the interviews that I've seen? Or whenever he's asked questions? Like, I hope you know, they also said this conflict would have ended in 4 weeks. We're now in week 9. 60 days. So I guess we're a little behind. I don't know about you. We might be behind schedule just a little bit. So I don't know, it's just crazy to me. But yeah, to you. Havoc Andy, my liberal in Christ watching. Am I still mod? You should still be. Here, I don't know about the main account that I purged, like the whole mod thing. I'm going to rebuild that because you fucking liberals did a pretty poor job during the Millie debate. Just banning everybody left and right. Unblocked like 40 people. Hold on. Yeah, I'm 19 years old. I live in Texas. Hegseth sucks. Put me at war second. Listen, bro. Listen. You may be a radical supporter, bro. Lock in, liberal. We are not qualified for government positions. Lock in, liberal. Can I get mod real quick? I barely realized this is the second account. Yeah, sure. I'll give it to you. You're a regular. I feel like you've done a pretty good job. Should be correct. Memory serves me right. Hegseth did it, bro. I can do it. Hegseth is not doing it. He's not doing the duties. He is not effectively carrying out the duties of the Secretary of War. He is failing. Terribly. Disaster. It's a fucking disaster at the Pentagon, at the DOD. So, Hegseth might be doing Secretary of War shit, brother. He's doing something fucking real wrong. Do you see the South Park episode with Hegseth? I've seen, I don't know. I don't know if he's came out in the ones that I saw. I'm fine with him taking over Keg's breath job. Yeah, we'll see if I'll probably indict his ass if he decides to say no to the fucking president. Jesus Christ. Bros, I feel like I should read through volume 2 of the Mueller report on stream just so we could see all the fucking instances of a possible obstruction that the president did during the investigation. Because James Comey's still the topic of discussion. So, like, I could just imagine if the Department of War, the Secretary of the DOW, or the DOD, fuck them, I'm not going to legitimize their bullshit name. I can only imagine if the Secretary of Defense was against the administration. Holy shit. Holy shit, bro. What do you mean, Hegseth is the greatest DevSec we've ever had? Yeah, he does pull-ups and shit. He can run a mile. Fucking liberal. I don't care that he's replacing a fucking 4-star general. Decorated resume. David, I will give you buckets, lock in. Mueller report P2 is wild. Is it 10 total? I remember reading over. It was 10 total. I don't think I missed any. Possible instances of obstruction. Again, I read it a fucking while ago. I need to revisit a lot of these things, man. It's been a really long fucking time. Mueller report. It's like fucking 7 trillion pages, you know, like 400 fucking something. Is it 99? 448, sorry. Close enough. Hold on, let's go to volume 2. Bro, it's so bad. I'm reading it on YouTube, by the way, if you guys want to check it out. Hold on. Where's volume 2? Bro, it's so bad. I should start soon. There you go. Because we're at 99. There you go. Okay, we're just going to read over the table of contents because it's really all you fucking need. Bro, it's so bad, okay? So we're going to start off. Factual result of the obstruction investigation. Press reports alleged links between the Trump campaign and Russia. The Trump campaign reacts to WikiLeaks release of the hacked email. It essentially consists of personal conversations that Donald Trump had, actions involving trying to get rid of Mueller, trying to fire Comey, which, you know, everybody knows what happened, right? We should, but it'll take a fucking while. It'll take a really long time. We can just read over the table of contents, honestly, because it's going to take a really long fucking time. So, here we are. It's the events leading up to and surrounding the termination of FBI Director James Comey. Comey testifies before the Senate Judiciary Committee and declines to answer questions about whether the president is under investigation. The president makes a decision to terminate Comey. That can be considered obstruction as well. That can definitely meet the threshold. The president's efforts to remove the special counsel. Now, who was that guy? It was Rap Butler. He was such a bad guy. He did so much damage, Man, if you didn't cuss so much, you could actually listen to you. So I'm sorry, Coach Tay-Tay. I'm vulgar. Grow up. I'm joking. The president asked Corey Lewandowski to deliver a message to Sessions to curtail the special counsel investigation. And he pressured Lewandowski so fucking much. I just cussed again. The president publicly criticized Sessions. And then also he demands for Sessions' resignation. Like, bro, it's really fucking bad. We could read over it actually, you know what I'm going to do for the next stream? I want to have like a research stream, bro, because I do need to revisit JGG and all the AA cases. It's been a while since I've read over that bullshit. We could have a research stream with old news, old radical news, because it's always coming back up. I like it. We'll be doing that. We'll be doing that soon, okay? Radical. Curse again. Be careful. People are sensitive. Dude, it's just not that big of a deal. Like, I'm cursing. I'm sorry. I curse. My bad, bro. Forgive me. Like, I don't know what you're meant to do, bro. What can we watch? Any suggestions as to what we can watch? You don't want to disappoint Coach? Bro, my bad, Coach. Lock in, David. Lock in, brother. That's serious shit. Oh, I cussed again. God. Oh, I was about to do it again. Bruh. Let me live my life. I'm like 19, dude. I'm 19. Let me cuss. When I turn 22, I'll become more professional or whatever. Let me live my fucking life, bro. Jesus Christ. Country's coming to a fucking end. Like, let me say my piece. Fuck. Radical. Why did a card change the user? I have to ensure that my username is like uniform across all platforms. That's the issue. Sorry. Should we tell him his mom? Sorry, should we tell his mom he's cursing on the internet? So this is actually my own service that I pay for, bitch. You do whatever the fuck I want on here, liberal! This is my service provider that I fucking pay to give me goddamn internet, liberal. Yeah, lock in, Ella. The fuck? To everybody that followed, make sure you follow the main account because I'm not fucking streaming on here. I just want to let you know. I do not stream on here usually. I didn't think I'd get verbally abused for a joke. I'm sorry. What kind of SSRIs are you on? None. I do take 5-ants though. I just upped the dosage to 30 milligrams, believe it or not. I'll be picking that up tonight. Can't fucking wait. I'm wired all the time. I'm joking. Hell yeah, bro. Take W. Amen, brother. We need a communist internet. Free Wi-Fi should be a human right. Definitely fucking not. Lock in, bro. Jesus Christ, dude. Just because something costs money doesn't mean that it should be readily accessible to everybody, okay? Lock in, bro. Basic necessities should be met. But just because it's not affordable by everybody does not mean that this thing should now become, I guess it should be decommodified and turned into a public asset. Like, fuck no. Taylor Swift tickets are $1,000. The government should subsidize Taylor Swift. Some people shouldn't have the internet, I'd argue. Yeah, maybe it's a good thing. Can we get some of the Trump impressions for a second? Yeah, I'll give you impersonations in a little. I knew it was the fall when my tia Linda was on Facebook. Amen, brother. Listen, speaking of your tia on Facebook, we are now on Facebook. Posting on Facebook. every day on the Facebook. So you better be following all my people in Brazil, in Mexico, North, Central, and South America. Better be following my shit, because I know you're going to be the only ones fucking watching. Amen, bro. They're the ones that give the most money. But you need to apply. If you need to apply, if you need to apply for a job, it should be free. Yeah, sure. DI. Well, that's gone now. Fuck me. Ask your parents if the blue are taxing them out of their homes. What are you talking about? The fuck are you on about, bro? Fund the libraries because it's the only source of free. Listen. I like public goods. Those are great things. Public infrastructure, that's great. Public gyms are cool. Public libraries, museums. Even if it's not a crazy ROI, all educational resources or anything that's related to health and wellness and career should be funded by the government or state governments for that matter. Somebody needs to be filling that gap though, because a lot of these businesses cannot run alone with the money that they do make from those that show up, right? If y'all want more funding, go sign up at your local library. Yeah, my local library is a fucking treasure, so we love the local library. I don't use it though because I'm very fortunate, but to those that do, my liberal in Christ, I love you, King. Mine is ass. Well, that's your fucking issue, liberal. That's your problem. I don't give a fuck. I'm joking. Republican town. Ew, no wonder. No wonder. Radical. Guys, is it echoey? Because the mic is farther away from me. And I did raise the gain the gain knob, not the gain on the Focusrite app. W crash out, amen, brother. Amen. Boomer book. Amen. We don't care about fucking boomer books. Those are crazy. Guys, you should only be reading Capital Volume 1 through 3. I'm joking. Never read that fucking piece of shit book. I have it in my bookshelf, actually. So I probably shouldn't be. That's why Republican towns can't do anything right. Oh, the F slur is just on my YouTube. Holy shit. Nice. Wow. I'm assuming it was a food dish? Hold on. Let me find out. It's a dish, yeah. Savory ducks or meatballs. Sorry. It's savory ducks. I saw that, LMAO, yep. Charlie Kirk made the greatest books. Read his books. Erica, read my books. I made great books. Wait, what's up on Piers Morgan? Hold on. I believe if we give commentary and there's not a lot of silence and react to snippets, I will not get struck down again by the YouTube moderation, right? I believe I'll be okay, right? I want some pork quackers. Amen. Are they pop-up books? What are you talking? Why did he yell at me and call me the B word? Holy crap. So, I don't know if you know this, but I call everybody bitch. It's not exclusive to you. I know you want to feel special. But yeah, it's like a cross-gender kind of thing. And it is a joke, by the way. Believe it or not. I was not being serious. I did not lash out. Lock in, bro. You need to get used to this. You disrespected a lady? God damn it. God darn. You need to get used. We are very vulgar. I'm very mean. Not really. It's all kind of just a joke. But yeah, lock in. Get used to it, liberal. Democrats win Florida. Democrats win Virginia. Oh, wait. What? David hate women? No, I do not hate women. I think I've said this a lot. I support women if they voted for Kamala Harris. If you voted for Kamala Harris, I will die alongside you. I will die in the name of you. I will fight for your right to vote, to pursue a career, to have children if you want to. I'll make sure that's a choice. So, listen. Well, I may be vulgar. I'm passionate. I am well-spoken for my age. Just because I cuss doesn't mean I'm not well-spoken. And I will fight till the end to make sure that everybody that supports me, that I support, that align with me, have good outcomes. So you can count on me, liberal. I'll fight for you, Ella. Half-wit? Oh, fucking half-wit, bro. Who says half-wit? There's no way you're not Australian. No fucking way. There's no half-wit, fuck-wit. Like, Ella, don't let him gaslight you. I hope you know Esther's been watching me for a fucking year, so don't listen to her when she says anything. Fucking liberal. Voting for Kamala Harris equals voting for Israel? Bro, bring your America First ass up here and have a conversation, you fucking liberal. Jesus Christ, you're so cringe. Ronald. Oh, Ronald's requesting. We'll bring you up. How's it going,
Shalom.
Ronald? Shalom. What's up? Maybe you can bring in some fucking debates. Hopefully you can get some debates on here. I've been collecting data, sending it to Kash Patel. Bro, 8647, 8647, 8647, 8647, 8647, 8647, 8647, 8647, 8647, 8647, 8647, 8647, 8647, 86. Come after me, 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 come after me. It is a true threat. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Okay, that
That would have been bad. That would have been Whoa! Whoa! Hi, David. It's me again. We've been trying to reach you about your bicycle extended warranty. I don't fucking have a bicycle, buddy. TCJA benefited me more than any piece of legislation ever. That is just not fucking true. Keep talking, boy. Amen.
Liberal.
I was just thinking about fiscal policy. I didn't think about the judiciary. Hold on. Is this liberal a minority? Hold on. Check if he's a minority. Anderson, are you a minority, Anderson? It's an important question because we could really determine what legislation is the most beneficial for you living in America.
TCJA was better.
TCJA was better than the Civil Rights Act.
Yep.
Charlie Kirk ass position, bro. What are we reviewing today? I actually have no clue.
Nothing.
Nothing. I'm scared now because I got struck down on fucking YouTube for reacting to the Jubilee shit. But I think it's because
Jubilee's really bad with their copyright stuff.
I think it's because I offered no commentary. Well, I saw Destiny
it's not.
fucking reacting. Oh, it's bullshit.
Yeah, Jubilee will just really get you. Piers is fine though.
Okay. React to Pierce.
Jubilee is one of the only ones, other than like
Can we,
you watch like sports or whatever.
Oh yeah, if you're
Jubilee's the
fucked,
only one
holy
that's
shit.
real bad.
I need to talk to the fucking team once I get on there someday. Not transformative enough? What are you talking about?
Yo, that's my goat. What's up? I like Sancho.
Sanchio?
Sancho, potato.
Jubilee is a psyop for the CIA, probably. Jubilee. Oh! I don't think that one was. I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay. Haley.
That wasn't even like bait or anything. That was just you. That was on forced error right there.
Sorry. You don't have to apologize, bro. I do need to low-key clean up my act, bro. I'm a little too... I need to be PR trained. I need to stop with this bullshit. It's okay. He's 4% Jewish. Actually, no, it was totally fine for me to respond that way because I'm 4% Jewish.
True.
So I was really offended by what you said, Haley. It broke my heart, quite frankly. Yeah, you need some PR train, bro. I like how Ella's been quiet this entire time and just like jumped in if I'm another. Only 4. Anti-Semite. Do Jewish people look a certain way to you? You fucking POS? Nuh-uh, J Daddy. Forget about it. Nexus. Ice is the greatest. Bro, James has just been sitting there petrified to request up. Jesus Christ. Don't be scared, James. Nexus. Shabbat Shalom, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Do you support the Trump administration?
No, I just had to ask you a question.
What's your question?
How do you feel about the war with the Islamic Republic?
You sound like Seth.
Who is that?
I caught you, didn't I? Like, this is easy money. You are definitely Seth.
Who is that? I don't know who you're talking about. Who is that?
Hold on, I'll display you a clip.
Shit.
Got you, didn't I?
That was
Easy,
fantastic.
easy. Got you, easy. Bro, do
What?
you think I'm fucking stupid or something? Bro, I hate it when people do this shit. They come up with a different
What?
profile picture and they think I'm not gonna recognize their voice. Lock in, bro.
The same
No, I
exact
just
fucking
don't. I
voice.
don't have my other TikTok account, so I came on this one, and I was scrolling through the.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been, man. Has been. I've been vindicated on numerous things. But how you feeling with the war?
I
man? How
disagree
you
with that.
feeling
I
about
think
it?
you're full of shit. You have not been. Well, it depends on what your actual position is, but you just changed it on a dime. But
No, I don't. I've always had my.
no, when we initially spoke, you were like, "Oh, tariffs are gonna be fucking great for the economy, bro. They're gonna be so good, dude."
I didn't. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You
whoa,
did
whoa,
say
whoa,
that. No, you
whoa.
did. You did.
He didn't
You
even
did.
do the tariffs.
He did do the tariffs.
No, they were declared. No, he would like do it, and then he went back on it. Then he'd do it again. Then he would go back on it.
No, he had a
And-
baseline tariff rate imposed up until it was ruled to be illegal by SCOTUS.
Yeah, and they withdrew it, and then like nothing happened.
Nothing happened,
Oh, prices went up a little bit, but I mean,
bruh.
what?
That's it. Just prices went up a little bit. No like layoffs, no contractions, because people were trying to stockpile before
if I'm
tariffs
not
hit. Like
mistaken, GDP for that quarter rebounded.
GDP's been really shit recently.
For that quarter, no, this we're talking about 2025.
Q1 2025 rebounded, as in what do you mean?
No,
what are you talking about?
Q2, I think rebounded, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it
I
was
think it
Q3.
was slightly.
I don't know,
hold
but I
on.
never said like this tariff policy of just doing blank tariff. I remember saying you needed like a sound, holistic industrial policy, which included tariffs, but also numerous other things.
I don't know. I think subsidies are the way to go. While they still create market inefficiencies, it's probably gonna fuck with the producer surplus less than
Well, you need to
the contrary.
you need to do
But it's going to
need to do
mainly
tariffs with
benefit
the
in sectors
subsidies.
that are really non-existent prior to its imposition.
like for example, look at like what Biden did with like chips.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not going to be for everything. It's going to be for a particular.
No, you don't want to bring back like
Product.
making fucking t-shirts.
Yep. But yeah,
No, but
why do you
anyways,
ask me
like,
how
I
do I
came
feel
over
about
to
the war in
talk about
Iran?
the
What do you
Islamic
mean?
Republic.
Yeah, what about the RGC? Do you support the RGC?
Of course.
Oh, kill me. Oh shit! I can't say that on stream. Wait, what do you mean you support them? You support the structure of government?
Yeah, it's the only democracy in the Middle East. Of course I support. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? It's like one of the only democracies in the Middle East. You got them and the Lebanon holding it down. What are you talking about? Oh, Colin, you know that's a good bit. You know that's a good bit. You know that's a good bit.
Bro,
You know that's a good bit.
holy shit.
Come on, you know that's a good bit.
The RGC is a well, they do have elected
Well, hold
officials.
on, wait. The IRGC is not a democracy. The IRGC is
Is
Islamic
the military? Shut the fuck up!
Revolutionary
Shut the
Guard.
fuck up! Shut the fuck up! I know. Yes, I know. I know
But
the
yes,
structure
like
of government.
it is like I mean, yes, it actually is a democracy. Like for like the election of like the president and like the council of
That doesn't
experts,
make it a
like, yeah, that-
democracy because the decision-making body in practice is definitely not the elected officials, right?
who do you think makes the decisions, dude?
The religious cleric, that being the Ayatollah and the RGC, they dominate decision-making domestically.
No.
Oh yeah.
No, there's been stuff passed. Well, I don't know what you really mean, right? Because the Ayatollah is elected by the council of experts, which they themselves are democratically elected.
But you don't select the ultimate decision maker.
Well, that's like saying that like you like for example, if America like votes for like Congress, then like Congress does something that like the majority of Americans don't support. You can't say that still wasn't a democratic process.
No, that's not analogous. Congress passing policy that you don't like is different from Congress appointing a leader that you don't necessarily align with.
Well, first of all, 98% of the country's Shia, right? So I mean, that's like, I don't know what you,
You
mean
think
by
you think a
don't align with.
religious affiliation is like? I'm just confused as
Dude,
to how
that's like
that.
saying, like, that's like saying like the Catholics don't align with the Pope. It's like,
Well, if
then-
you're a Trump supporting Catholic, it's unlikely that you'll align with this Pope. Yeah,
or then you're like a heretic, right? I mean, that's like.
is
Like,
that
Sean
the
Hannity
case?
literally said that like he's leaving Catholicism because like of what the Pope said about Trump. Like, come on now, dude. Like, what are we talking about? But even then, even if it's like, I mean, like, listen, people vote on the Council of Experts. The Council of Experts vote on who the Ayatollah is, I mean, that
And then
seems much more
the
democratic.
Ayatollah makes decisions. Well, the Ayatollah in tandem with the RGC, because I believe that there's like a
No,
co
they
dependence.
have like a semi-parliament and a president, dude.
No,
Yes, they do. And there's been presidents who have won that weren't even endorsed by the Ayatollah. Like Hashtini when he won in
and what
1997.
significant changes have they made to the government?
Oh, like Hashtini, for example, allied with America in 2001 in the invasion of Afghanistan, and like literally went out and ordered protests be held against Al Qaeda when 9/11 happened, and like had like this super reformist foreign policy about them. And because the Iranians are not like this liberal democratic people the West are making them out to be, after they didn't like Hashtini, they elected, first of all, the greatest president in Iranian history, but also the most radical and hardliner, President Mohammad Ahmadinejad. But the point is, though, is like there's been people who have the Ayatollah who has endorsed their opposition, and they have won their election, and then got to take power, and then like reforms came after it.
But what changes? Like, what significant policy did they pass without input from the Ayatollah or the RGC?
They became much warmer to the U.S. Like I don't.
Iran became much warmer to the United States.
Yeah, there was a joint invasion of Afghanistan with the United States.
Yeah,
like General Soleimani.
and then we got the JCPOA, and now we're here after its dissolution by Trump.
Hold on. The nuclear deal came 12 years after.
Yes, I recognize that. What I'm referring to is I'm acknowledging that the Iran slowly progressed to building like somewhat diplomatic
why,
relations
though,
with
right?
America. For the JCPOA?
No, like you know why Iran then became more hostile to the U.S., right?
Following the dissolution of the JCPOA?
No. Like after they allied with us in Afghanistan. Like, do you know what happened?
No.
You've never heard of Bush's Axis of Evil speech?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so what happened was Iran was literally like the guy who Trump assassinated in 2020.
Soleimani?
Yes, one of the most amazing men.
Lock the
Practically
fuck in, bro. This is a 0 out of 10 troll. Holy
No,
shit.
he defeated. I'm not rage baiting. He allied with America to fight against the Taliban in Afghanistan. He fought against Al Qaeda in Iraq, and he fought against Al Qaeda in the Islamic State in Syria. Like the guy was like #1 terrorist fighter in the fucking.
Well, yeah, they're gonna look to. I recognize that Trump did kill him, and that led to where we're at now.
And that's evil.
I don't know if it's necessarily evil, but it wasn't the right decision.
Well, what did he do?
You don't think that the Quds Force, RGC as a whole, I mean, no, he's a commander, but that's besides the point. The RGC as a whole has done like a lot of damage to the region
Oh, hell
via like
no.
via satellite terrorist organizations.
You don't support Hezbollah?
No.
You're dumb. And they didn't do any damage to the region. Like, for example, Nasrallah.
Stop. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
No,
I'm not doing this.
Hezbollah.
No means no, Seth. No means no.
No,
I know you can't.
Nasrallah was the most-
I know you can't wrap your mind around consent. I'm not fucking doing this. I'm not doing
It's
this.
because you're a Zionist. I mean, I don't.
I'm not a Zionist. No, I'm not a Zionist.
So you believe in like the abolition of the state of Israel?
I do not believe in that. That doesn't
So
make
you
me not a
believe in a
Zionist.
Jewish state in
No,
occupied
I didn't say that.
Palestine.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you do. So you believe in destroying the state of Israel?
I can't. No, its dissolution is going to do more harm than good.
To who?
The people living in Israel?
Who gives a fuck about illegal Jewish settlers, dude?
Well, there's a lot of people that don't necessarily. There's a lot of people that don't necessarily play a huge part in Israel's immoral expansion and occupation of Gaza and the West Bank that probably shouldn't be caught in the crossfire to do something that we find to be morally just. International relations is not always going to be the most morally just thing, like getting rid of people that you believe are unjustly settled in your land, because it's more of ensuring that you come to a resolution that mitigates all possible harm, while simultaneously kind of appeasing both sides of the party, which is going to be relatively difficult.
I'll respond to what you said. but
Because
just to
you
be
recognize
clear
if you were just dissolve Israel, it's going to lead to like mass displacement, right?
Okay, I'll answer that in a second, but just to be
Okay.
clear here, you don't want to argue about Hezbollah. You want to talk about like one state versus two state.
No, I don't really want to talk about it at all. I hate having conversation about this. It's like really shitty.
Well, this is important because we're talking about the Islamic Republic, and like the Islamic Republic,
Wait, but do you think I support the war in Iran?
I think you probably hold the current Democrat liberal position, which is that Trump is like doing an unconstitutional war in Iran, but ideally we should have a regime change in the Islamic Republic.
Maybe you should ask questions then, ho.
So you don't believe there should be some type of internal regime change in the Islamic Republic?
Whether or not that'd be preferable, it doesn't mean that that's what should happen.
Okay, good. So you support the sovereignty of the Islamic Republic?
Yes. Reluctantly so, yeah.
Well, here, let me teach you. Okay, well, let's have a conversation about this for a second, because you seem to have some stuff about the IRGC and the Quds Force. Listen, let's just be honest. Like, Hezbollah would not exist if it wasn't for Israel invading into Lebanon in the 80s. That would not exist. What are you looking at me like that for? Now, when it comes to, first of all, what Israel does in Lebanon, it's very obvious by looking at their current terror bombing, like what they're doing.
I don't support their offensive either.
I know you don't. I'm
okay.
Just saying something. Lebanon would not exist if it wasn't for Hezbollah, because it's very clear what Israel's doing in Lebanon is not just targeting Hezbollah. They're targeting the entirety of Lebanon. If it was not for Hezbollah, then Lebanon would look something like Syria or Iraq.
Don't you think that Israel is using that terrorist organization and the threat they pose to Israelis as a means to justify carpet bombing commercial and civilian infrastructure?
No, actually.
Wait, I'm curious. If Hezbollah didn't exist, do you think Israel would be launching an attack into Lebanon? And if so, would it be? Because I think it'd be like millions of times more condemnable. Because I don't support it. I think it's incredibly opportunistic, and it's clear that I think based on their offensive in Gaza, the treatment of people in the West Bank, Palestinians within Israel, and obviously now the I guess the opportunity that they saw with the United States going to war with Iran. I don't think. I think if there is an existing terror organization that is adversarial, Israel will take that as an opportunity to do whatever the fuck it wants.
Yeah, but Israel would do that regardless. Right?
But
like
there's more room for international condemnation if it were to do such things.
Well, who? See, this is the problem, right? Is that you have like this self-defense organization, which is what it is, and you're saying this. What are you referring to? NATO? No, I'm talking about Hezbollah. Talking about?
Oh, sorry.
So what Hezbollah is? Why is this person adding me and calling me a Zionist? I'm just not going to pay attention.
You are a Zionist. You're a Zionist.
It's so true. So when it comes to Hezbollah, you have to understand something is that Israel has territory ambitions in the region. They do. And I would say, for example, Israel had no justification to invade Syria and to expand into the Golan Heights because Bashar al-Assad had fallen. Right? The people who they backed had taken power, and then they just invaded anyway. Now, when it comes to Lebanon, for example, let's just go with the preemptive strike that the I don't want to call it, taking the prisoner of war, I forget the specific operation that happened in 2006 that sparked the 2006 war. Israel had plans to invade Lebanon, and Hezbollah just acted first. That started the 2006 war, the 33-day war, and Hezbollah just kicked their ass out. Now, also, this is also something to keep in mind here, that Hezbollah started in the 1980s. Israel occupied Lebanon until the year 2000. Now, and then Hezbollah basically kicked them out then. Now, when you're looking and seeing, this is almost like saying, like, Hamas, it's the fault of Hamas for what Israel is doing in Gaza. That's obviously zero.
I'd say it's Gamal Nasser's fault. I'm joking. Sorry.
It's whose fault?
Gamal Nasser.
Nasser?
He launched the conflict, and they lost Gaza. They lost Gaza as a result of it.
What are you talking about, 1967?
Yeah, the 6 or 7 day war.
Oh, dude, even Israeli historians agree that Israel was the aggressor in that situation, dude. Like, you should read Tom Sevig's book, 1967. Egypt, and also you got to remember something. Like the reason why Egypt was starting to, first of all, remember the canal, what was it called, the Suez Canal situation before 1967, and also remember settlements are illegal. That's also something to keep in mind here. But even Israeli historians agree that Israel was basically the aggressor in 1967. And then Zionists make it out to be that, like, oh, Israel defeated the entire Arab world in 1960. They didn't. Like, Syria didn't get involved until the 5th day. Jordan didn't get involved until the 4th day. But, honestly, I don't really believe in, I don't believe we should just go back to the 1967 borders. I think the Nakba was a tragedy. And
I don't have a
justice-
solution for Israel-Gaza.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, your solution is like... Tell me your solution.
Yeah, Palestinians should be given the right to return,
Okay.
and there should be a binational state called Palestine.
Okay, and what should you do with all the Israelis?
They'll be fine. Like what? Like if you like, I mean, you go like, what are you going to do with all the Israelis? Well, if you support a two-state solution, I mean, what are you going to do with all the Israeli settlers in the West Bank, dude? Like, what are we going to do with this? It's like, yeah, like these.
Yeah,
people
but that would definitely, again, I'm not a proponent of either, because I don't think I've done enough research that the topic necessitates for me to be able to even conjure up a solution. But I just think that intuitively something like that, based on my understanding of the conflict and the tensions between both countries or peoples, essentially, it makes it that if there were to be a two-state solution facilitated by like an impartial third party, then that would probably minimize the harm and maybe open the door for...
True, okay, but as long as the Palestinians get to pick who the third party is. And also, that's kind of what happened in Lebanon, by the way. Syria occupied Lebanon until there was like an assassination of the president, which everyone blamed Syria on and Hezbollah on, which there was a whole court hearing about. There was like a court case on it, and turns out Syria and Lebanon had nothing to do, or Syria and Hezbollah had nothing to do with the assassination of the Lebanese president. And what was that, 2005? But, there was popular resentment towards Syria because they blamed Syria, and Syria withdrawed. And that's...
Who do you think that the Palestinians would choose? I don't think either side should really choose. That's the issue.
The Islamic Republic.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fucking bad for Israel, right?
Hey, man, listen, all I'm saying is that the Islamic Republic, like...
I think it should be either a UN coalition or that's it, honestly. I don't think the United States is welcome to do that by themselves right now.
Oh, dude, the United States should have zero involvement with the fucking... Israel and Palestine. It should just be up to the... I mean, well, what they really should do is sanction and blockade Israel. But I guess, and also, I mean, I would also suggest parties like China and Russia, which these people are only driven by self-interest.
Do you still support Russia? Yeah, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah. These parties are only driven by... What?
Nothing, bro. I'm not having this conversation right
China
now.
and Russia are only driven by self-interest, right? So, that's why, like, for example, Russia, like, has, like, ties with Iran and, helps Iran bypass the sanctions, and Iran helps Russia bypass the sanctions, and they give each other, like, interceptor, they give them interceptor missiles and et cetera. But also, Russia sells grain to Israel, right? So these countries are motivated strictly by self-interest. Iran is, like, an ideological state. Like, they... believe in nothing but Shia Islam and Marbar America and Marbar Israel. Like that's what they believe in, which I also do. But what I'm saying is though, what do you mean? But yeah, like Russia sells.
What
Israel
do you mean?
grain.
Oh, you're talking to the chatter.
No. I'm just saying Russia sells Israel grain, but also supports Iran and supported Bashar al-Assad in Syria. And was working with Hezbollah in Syria. So like,
I don't know. I just find it... Well, I don't know. Wait, why do you LARP and try to appeal to me that Iran's like a democrat state when you're just like a self-proclaimed authoritarian, aren't you? From our last conversations?
I mean, I believe in the principle of oh fuck, the right to govern comes from consent to the governed. The right to the consent of the governed.
Oh, now he's an
I believe
Enlightenment
that.
thinker, son of a bitch.
No, there's some liberal things I believe in, but
I feel like that changed. That's not how you were when we initially. When,
no, I
when
believe
you
in.
met.
I thought I told you this. I believe in democracy.
That's
But
not what you said. I
no,
think.
the
I
Islamic
think.
Republic
If I remember
is a
correctly, you
republic.
wanted religious rule.
No. I argued against that. I think I just got into an argument with you about like the separation between church and state. That doesn't matter though. No,
Separation
the
between
Islamic-
church and state doesn't matter when it comes to religious rule.
No, I just don't feel like going over that now.
Okay.
That's why I said it doesn't matter. That's what I was saying.
It
Is
does
that, like,
matter.
If you have a secular government is necessarily assuming that religion is
No,
false.
no, it's not true.
That is true. That's why you can't pass any law justified by religion because
It
the
doesn't.
assumption
It
is that
doesn't.
religion
It
is
doesn't.
false and thus it's not
It
able to
assumes that
justify
no
law.
religion is correct. Therefore, we should not legislate who can
Therefore,
practice
yeah,
or.
so if something's not correct, it's what?
No,
there's
it's in
not
a
this secret third thing.
No, there is. It's well, it's not a secret
What's the
either. It's
secret
just the
third
idea
thing?
that one can't rule over another, and like you can freely practice whichever one you'd like. That doesn't presuppose that one's wrong. It just doesn't presuppose that one's right.
It presupposes all are wrong.
That's not
If
true.
no religion can justify a certain law, then that must mean
I think that form
can't
of government
justify it.
ensures that nobody's feet are stepped on in the process of making legislation.
Yeah, the only problem is that this shit was getting set up when just everyone was Christian. That's the problem.
Okay.
So, that's the only point that I'm making is when you have a secular government, the implicit assumption there is that religion is just false. Which
No.
dude, and no one disagrees. Yeah. Yes,
No.
Yes. Okay.
No.
Why?
Because the founders did not believe that government should religion should reign supreme. That doesn't necessarily
founders
believe
did-
that they don't.
No, the
You
the
by the way,
founders
you
did
mentioned that
believe
they're all religious. The founders did not believe that. That's not true.
Yeah, they did.
They believed that religion should reign supreme, but simultaneously created a system of government where no religion reigns supreme. Can you explain to me how that makes sense?
Every state government had a national church.
That's not
or
an
had a
answer to my
state
question.
church. That does answer your question.
No, it doesn't.
They didn't believe in a large federal
The
government.
Constitution is the law of the land, and the federal
Excuse
government was
me.
agreed upon.
Yeah, the First Amendment didn't stop every single state at the time from having a national church.
No, I mean we're not referring to states' government or their relationship with religion, rather the way the federal government is set up.
than the federal governments back then. So what the First Amendment did, right? The separation of church and state, which by the way, that's not in the Constitution. That comes from Jefferson, and Jefferson certainly thought
No, it's an
that
inference.
religion was false.
Similar to judicial review.
No, no. So what the
Yeah.
First Amendment said is that states had, I said national, I didn't mean national. States had their own church, and if you weren't a self-professing Christian, you could not serve in state legislation, right? And states were intended to be much more powerful than the federal government.
What can you point to lead me to believe that?
Believe what?
That states were designed to be much more powerful from the federal government. When I've read the Federalist Papers, I think it's clear that that these people were not looking to have states be on equal standing to the federal government. Sorry.
Yeah, remember, the Constitution was not the first legal document in the United States. There was something called the Articles of Confederation.
Yeah, I
that came
recognize that,
years
but
before.
simply because it precedes it doesn't mean that it now supersedes the Constitution in terms of importance, right? Because we're referring to the Constitution. If you want to refer to the Articles of Confederation, the way the government was set up back then,
Yeah, the Constitution.
I feel like
first
that
had
doesn't
10
make a lot of
amendments.
sense.
At first,
Yeah.
it had only 10 amendments.
You're not
right?
you're not answering my question though. Like, what are you referring to when you say
I was
that
getting to it.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, well, first of all, like the reign of the anti-federalists that happened with the superiority of Jacksonian democracy that came about in that era. But anyways, yeah, the point is, dude, is that the First Amendment didn't stop governments from having churches and passing religious laws. And the federal government was just kind of there just to ensure the Constitution, what at the time was just the Bill of Rights. Now, there's
But
this
what's what's the point that's even making?
He brought it
Yeah.
up. I wasn't making this point. I wanted to talk about something else.
No, I'm asking you for evidence that the founders intended for this to be a Christian nation.
Oh, like you said, you read the Federalist Papers. John Jay called it a Christian nation in the Federalist Papers.
That doesn't mean that it's
John
okay.
Jay
No.
is also a
You
giant
recognize
outlier.
you recognize that doesn't prove
And I didn't
first
say
of
it
all
was meant to
that
be a
the
Christian
federal
nation. I didn't
that
say
the
that.
What did you say then?
I said, yeah, the government intended for there to be religious, or at least allowed for there to be religious state governments, which it did. That only became unconstitutional, which every single founding father was dead.
We were not talking about the state governments having religious.
Oh no, I said the First
policy
Amendment
prescriptions.
assumes, oh, I said the separation between church and state assumes that religion is false. That's what I said.
Yeah. And
Which
I'm
is
telling you,
true.
no.
It is.
No, we're just
Okay,
going in
whatever, I don't
fucking
feel like
circles.
arguing
We're
about
going in
this. I wanna talk
circles.
about something else.
Because you're wrong, liberal.
I'm right. But anyways,
No.
Yeah, I'm right.
I reject that.
And I was right about the state governments as well. But anyways, no, you need to know about the Islamic Republic. That's what you need to learn. You need to pay. This is like the most important thing everyone's talking about.
I've been doing more research on the RGC, but the more research I've done, the more my initial idea that they were abusive
To who?
to foreign ministers when they're conducting diplomacy. Have you seen the Zarif leak?
I don't think that's true about. For example, right? Soleimani was known for very.
Soleimani tried to sabotage the JCPOA.
That shit should have been sabotaged. That's brilliant. That should
Bruh!
have been sabotaged.
Wait.
Well,
What?
America stabbed
Integration with America? That should have been sabotaged?
Yeah, because America stabbed them in the back, and ripped it up.
Wait. So the administration that was a part of the fucking bullshit, you know, the group, is it P5+1?
What are you referring to?
Well, is the coalition of nations that pushed via coercive diplomacy
Oh,
Iran
like China
to
and
agree to
Russia?
the JCPOA? Yes, essentially. It's like P5+. Hold on, let me verify. P5+1.
But no, all the hardliners
JCPOA.
that don't sign the nuclear deal. We're totally
Why?
right.
Why
'cause
wouldn't
America
you?
ripped up the
Why?
nuclear deal.
Yeah, Donald Trump did. I don't know if America intended for
America
Donald
ripped
Trump
up
to
the
destroy.
nuclear
No,
deal.
no, I don't accept that. I don't know.
Who is the president of the United States?
Donald Trump was the president of the
Okay,
United
and
States,
America ripped up the nuclear deal.
but he's diametrically opposed to Obama on just about every single position, including the JCPOA. To act as if when the
That's not
when
Iran's fault.
Stop. It's not the agreement's fault either. You're making it seem as if it should have been ripped up from the start as a means to justify Soleimani trying to sabotage it. But
It
that
should have been
doesn't.
sabotaged. All the
Stop.
hardliners said America.
Stop talking. Is that he doesn't stop talking.
You've talked more than me in this dialogue.
That is not true. That is false.
I've
Unequivocally
muted
fucking
myself like
false.
twice in this discussion.
Stop this.
Whatever. Go ahead.
The agreement from the onset was not to backstab Iran. It was to build some level of relation with them as time went on. Through
Total bullshit.
Okay, so Obama and all the other countries came to the agreement. The P5+1 came to the agreement of the JCPOA with the intention that Donald Trump was going to fucking destroy it. I feel like that's ridiculous. You have to speak to Obama's intent. You have to speak to Obama's malicious intent or the P5+1.
Oh, I can 100% speak to the malicious intent of Obama. Yeah, what was Operation Timber Sycamore?
Did Obama make the JCPOA with the
Answer my
intention?
question. What
That's
was-
no. You need to tell me if there's evidence of the P5+1, which is not just the United States, it's the UK, it's fucking Canada. Hold on, let me see the fucking list again. Holy shit, it's China. Germany was +1. Yeah, France, UK, China, not Canada, sorry, Russia plus Germany and the United States. I don't see how it would serve any of those countries for them to just rip up the agreement like 3 years after it was created.
Yeah, so let me explain how
Okay.
America was acting in bad faith from the beginning, right? The first way that we know this is that Obama was funding essentially Al Qaeda and ISIS.
You just laughed at that comment by Duke Silver, right? That fucking moron.
Wait, who?
You laughed at the comment by Duke Silver. I'm assuming that's why you fucking chuckled.
No. I'm just
Okay.
explaining something.
Okay.
So the way that we know it was with malicious intent is that Obama was already trying through covert efforts to overthrow the Iranian ally in Syria, which was Bashar al-Assad. And they were doing this by, it's called Operation Timber Sycamore. You can look into it. I mean, literal arms got to al-Nusra and even the Islamic State. So, I mean, that's one way we know it was bad faith, is that America and the Obama administration was already trying to fuck over Iran in Syria. The second
But
way,
but Syria's not Iran.
no, Bashar al-Assad was a huge ally of Iran, and Iran was in Syria fighting against the literal terrorist rebels.
Do you think Iran benefits more from a relationship with Syria or the United States? and UK and France and China and Russia.
Because look what trying to get in a relationship with America did.
What the fuck? Look at
And
what
also,
Trump
Syria
did, you
was
mean?
the
Look at
way
what
they got
Trump did.
weapons
Look at what
to
Trump did.
Hezbollah.
Look at what Trump did. The Biden administration was also open to negotiation or diplomacy with Iran, but that was kind of
The
already fucked
Obama
by then.
administration, the Biden administration allowed a genocide of the Palestinian people, which
Oh
Iran
my
is
God.
diametrically opposed to, right? So I mean, but no, that's the point that I'm making is this: is that
What?
Obama was trying to overthrow an Iranian ally in the region while trying to normalize.
That
with
doesn't
Iran.
mean that they created the JCPOA with malicious intent, trying to then backstab or weaken Iran. It would have done the opposite. It lifts economic pressure and allows them to, I guess, it brings about some level or the idea of reintegration in the future if they were to cooperate, which they did
No,
up
the
until it was
reason-
broken
the
apart.
reason why-
And that's when
I
they started
actually-
ramping up defense spending.
I actually do believe the nuclear deal was always intended to be ripped up because America's always had plans to fuck over Iran. Like, do you know what
Why
they
would,
did to?
bruh?
Have you read?
I just don't understand how that makes sense.
I'm fixing to explain it to you.
Okay.
Do you know
You fix
what
quicker, liberal.
Obama did before the signing of the nuclear deal? Like, do you know what they did to Iran?
Tell me.
They did the most harsh sanctions we've ever
Yeah.
seen in American
Coercive
history.
diplomacy alert based. Radical. Hold on,
Yeah,
let me do
go
my
tell all the
soundboard.
people that starved to death. and
Yeah,
had
well,
their
that's the fault.
electricity turned off that
No,
was
that's
so
bullshit.
base.
That's the fault of the piece of shit government that's going to
not
allow
the-
for
what
good.
did they do?
It is. It's going to
What did
allow
they do?
for goods and services to concentrate at
What
the
did they
top
do?
and only
What did
benefit
they
a certain
do?
group of people. It is
What
not.
did they
It is
do?
not the fault of the United States that the Iranian government does not care for its people.
The Iranian government does care for its people. What are you
Then,
talking
then
about?
why are people going to die at the hand of sanctions?
Because Obama did secondary sanctions.
That doesn't change what I said.
Do you know what that is?
What do they still have allies that were willing to trade with them and provide them goods and services?
Besides like Russia, no. Who was also getting
A
sanctioned. at the
global
time.
superpower at the time? Yeah.
Who were all, first of all, they were.
If
not
there's
like-
anybody that knows how to survive the United States sanctions, it's fucking Russia. So I guess they have like the pro
yeah, and
playbook
Iran
there.
immediately, and you hate Russia. What are you talking about?
I don't hate. Well, hold on, I do hate
America
the
was already
Russian
doing
government,
layoffs in Russia at the
but you
time,
need to
too,
stop.
dude.
Hold on. It's the point. The
Maidan
point
happened
is.
in
The
2014.
point is your argument against the coercive diplomacy that got Iran to the table and brought about some a comprehensive agreement that what if left uninterrupted, I assume would bring about some level of peace between countries, maybe cooperation later down the line, is the fact that we use sanctions to get there. And you
think
pointed to
sanctions is
you
evil.
pointed to civilian costs. I think sanctions were incredibly effective because they resulted in the agreement. And then, I mean, you're pointing to the civilian costs, which, I mean, that's the responsibility of the government to ensure that you don't see a concentration of the resources at the top, which they didn't because they don't actually give a shit about their people.
No. Oh, you're wrong about this. There's a synthetic control analysis owned the
And you see it.
own the sanctions, and what I tell you, and what happened is that
What is it? Can you point me to it? I haven't read it. It'll
Yeah,
be
just look
after.
up
I can't do it
just
now.
Just look up synthetic control.
Well, I want to take your off.
Iranian middle class sanctions. Like if you read that, and what the middle class was growing very consistently in Iran until the sanctions happened.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I don't doubt that.
Yeah, the country just got poorer. It's not that like resources were concentrated to the fault at like to anyone's fault. And America did secondary sanctions, which not only is like, I mean, essentially what they did is that they sanctioned the central bank. If you were holding Iranian, like they completely effed Iran, and severe civilian casualties came from it. Severe civilian loss came from it. And if you read, there's this it's one of the best books on the economic analysis of sanctions that there is.
Hold on. There you
it's
go.
by a guy named.
Wait a minute.
it's by
I'm
a guy
not.
named
I'm not having it. Hold on. You're gonna have two Jewish kings come on and shit on you really fast. Hold on.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention Nexus. So you do realize that something I kind of wanted to address is the fact that the sanctions that Obama put on Iran was just freezing financial assets. I would like you to maybe pull up a source that said the freezing of those assets have directly contributed to civilian loss of life.
Oh yeah, I can do that very easily.
Great. Please tell me.
Hold on. This loser.
I just think it's insane that he was saying that U.S. support of I mean, the Syrian situation has definitely devolved since, the overthrow of the Assad regime, but the U.S. supporting the, rebels who are fighting Assad is somehow supporting, you know, terrorists. Like these
No,
people
no.
were,
Somehow that's evident of malicious intent.
yeah,
When it comes
malicious intent.
in the lead up to the creation of the JCPOA, which is fucking bullshit.
It's
But this
like
guy's an apologist for like the worst regimes on the
like
fucking
such a
planet.
horrible. That's like first of all, that's such a horrible straw man. I
It's
didn't
not a straw
say
man.
that their support for Syria is what brought Iran to the table to sign
No,
a
no, no,
nuclear
no, no, no.
deal.
You just misunderstood. I asked you to show me evidence of malicious intent on behalf of the United States, in the lead
Yes.
up to the JCPOA that somehow
Because they
proved that
overthrew a
later
key
down
Iranian ally.
that later down the line, hold on, later down the line, the United States would rip it to shreds and try and attack a weakened Iran. But that you didn't provide that. You simply said that they attacked Syria.
Yeah, they overthrew a key Iranian ally. And also, I mean, by the way,
dude,
Iran literally.
Assad's a
Wait,
dictator who
wait.
used
The guy
chemical
asked about
weapons on his own
sanctions.
citizens.
I mean, it should be kind of obvious. I mean, I can
Bashar,
show
wait,
you,
what
like,
do you think about
synthetic
Bashar
controls.
al-Assad? What do you think about Bashar al-Assad?
Oh, dude, I'm a big fan of Bashar al-Assad.
Oh no!
Dude, he was a dictator who used chemical weapons on his own citizens.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
think
The
that this is
WikiLeaks, the
this is the
OPCW
righteous
report on
government?
the chemical weapons was the biggest bullshit that ever existed. Okay, like the people who were in
Bruh.
Damascus weren't allowed to give their opinion on it. The WikiLeaks already proved this. You're just repeating
The
like fucking
WikiLeaks?
dumb
Can
shit
I see
propaganda.
these?
Yeah,
Holy
just look
shit!
up WikiLeaks OPCW, fucking Syria. Like this, everyone knows this is nonsense. And yes, I said literal terrorists. What was Al Nursa? Like literally the guy who is the president right now in Syria, Jelani, was on the FBI's watch list. The reason why he was in Syria in the first place is because he was sent by al-Baghdadi in Iraq to go fight in Syria. I don't know if you know who al-Baghdadi was. He was the leader of Al-Qaeda in Iraq, who was assassinated by Trump.
Yeah,
We know
I mean,
who he
David,
is, yes.
he,
Only
yeah,
because
he's
of that
not wrong
speech.
at all. I actually agree with you, Nexus. However, I don't think that funding
Wait,
Syrian
no.
groups
You know that
is-
there's like a million. You agree that Syria didn't use chemical weapons against its people, Jacob?
Oh, 100%.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I agree with him on the fact that the way that we operate in Syria probably could have been done better. I personally am not in support of HTS. I would rather a Kurdish regime be the Kurdish forces.
But this is irrelevant to the
but-
conversation because that's
I'm
not
sure-
that
I'm
that
sure
doesn't
you would,
display that doesn't
refer to
display
Kurds.
malicious intent, nor does it
It does.
it's not no, it's not
America
evidence
wanted to
that they wanted to
isolate
destroy the
Iran.
JCPOA. That's not true.
I never said anything about. Listen, I said Obama did not care about actually integrating Iran into like the modern economy or whatever. That's not at all, or like having a better situation with Iran. They wanted to isolate Iran, which is why they overthrew Bashar al-Assad, and eventually hostilities towards Iran were going to escalate. What happened was you
If
got the most
America wanted to
insane neocon
isolate
to ever
Iran
exist,
prior
which
to
was
the
Trump. They just immediately
if
ripped up the
America
JCPOA.
wanted to isolate Iran prior to, why wouldn't they have come after terrorist organizations that they support as well, or all allies? Just Syria.
Wait. How do you think Iran got weapons to Hezbollah? It was because Bashar al-Assad allowed a pipeline.
Hezbollah
to
isn't the only satellite terrorist organization that the
Who's
IRGC
the
trains
other?
and supplies weapons
America,
to.
America and the Saudis tried to take out Ansar Allah, and they just failed in Yemen. And Israel's doing a pretty good job right now in G-siding the Palestinians when it comes to Hamas.
Like I just find it. I find it. No, wait, hold on. I find it really
So
questionable.
They've tried.
Terrorism is fucking illegal. It's illegal. It's wrong.
What's
it's
illegal?
bad. Terrorism. These terrorist organizations
America
are not
supports
operating
terrorists.
on the same standing as Iran per se. So this idea that if, let's say, we were to attack them, let's say we were to eradicate them, good. They should not be exercising, nor should the United States, by the way, be exercising influence with the use of terrorist organizations that are not subject to any international law or ethics. That's fucking crazy.
So first-
and
so I
that
don't-
does not display malicious intent on behalf of the United States.
So you
When it
said
comes to
how
the
come the
JCPOA
United
respectively.
States does not go after these terrorist organizations? First of all, they do. That was the point of overthrowing Bashar al-Assad, was so Iran could not be able to funnel weapons to Hezbollah anymore. America has tried to take out Hezbollah before, and Israel obviously has. When it comes
In
to
the lead up to
Yemen-
the JCPOA?
in the lead up to the GPC,
JCPOA.
uh,
Because that's what this revolves
when it co-
around. Yeah.
you think this whole debate? I'm debating around Iranian foreign, what we were doing with Iran.
Yeah.
Like I think it's
The
so
JCPOA
obvious
is
that
what we were doing with
tried to,
Iran.
our interest in Syria was to isolate Iran. That's like so obvious.
So Nexus. So let me just ask a question.
What, do you really think America gives a shit about chemical weapons being used? That's ridiculous.
I would like to
Nexus,
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, dude.
we
I'm
literally
looking at
gave
your
Saddam
claims about
Hussein
like
chemical
the.
weapons to use against Iran in the
Hey,
Iran-Iraq
dude,
war. Like,
I'm,
give me a break.
I'm looking into your like WikiLeaks claims about the OPCW, like how that report was false. Apparently, it's one email from one investigator on the team that was casting doubt on like the findings. There's a CBS News report that came out shortly thereafter that did talk to like survivors and witnesses and people around it who did support the fact that there were chemical weapons used, including chlorine gas, people foaming at the mouth, et cetera, et cetera. Like the OPCW stood behind the official report. They said, hey, there's one guy who, cast some doubts
No,
on
that's
it,
not what
but
happened.
So
Bruh.
okay,
Nexus, I have a
then
question.
you provide some sources because I'm looking into it, and that's what it appears to
Yeah,
be the case.
you've done zero research into this. You think a quick Google search is like gonna debunk anything?
Bruh.
Yeah,
Let's just be
I'll
very clear,
give you a
Nexus.
source
You
on it.
still,
I'll give you a source
you're
on it real
still-
quick. I'll give you a source on it real
Nexus.
quick. But let's
Yeah.
just acknowledge here, so we can be quite frank, because you're bitching about chemical weapons. Can we all be clear here that America allowed HTS, which was a designated terrorist organization, to take power in Syria? And we aided in the fall of a legitimate government. So a literal Bin Laden who was
Dude,
Who is
so,
the
a-
legitimate
so a
government?
literal
Who
Bin
do you think
Ladenite
is-
who
who
was
do you
fighting
think
against
is
American
worse?
troops in Iraq and ordering suicide bombs.
I don't
We allowed
know.
them
Wait,
to
hold on. I don't know if you know this. But if the United States does something bad, that doesn't then justify another country from engaging in a similar thing just because the United States does it.
No, it's the same conflict. You're bitching about Bashar al-Assad using chemical weapons when America was funding literal Bin Ladenites.
So, dude, and also like you're talking about this one attack, this Duma attack, but apparently the Assad regime used
not talking
chemical
about
weapons
Duma. It happened in
consistently from
2013 in
2013 to
Ghetto, too.
2019, including like hundreds of chemical. Study documented 336 chemical attacks between 2012 and 2019, contributing 98% of them to pro-Assad forces. Like, what the
I
fuck are
never
you talking
brought
about?
up.
Like,
I
you're trying to cast out
I
on a
didn't bring up just
single
Duma. I didn't
single
bring up just
incident
Duma.
when there are hundreds.
It
of them.
happened in there was a bullshit accusation of Assad using ones in 2013 in Ghetto. There was two that happened in 2015.
But all
No, I'm not. But I
336
still
were
don't know.
false.
I don't think any of these were used by Bashar al-Assad.
So okay, so all 336, 98% of them attributed to pro-Assad forces. All of those are false. Every single one of those 336 reports, it's all bullshit.
Yep.
Assad is a
That's
fucking angel.
bullshit. And can you what's the evidence? What's the evidence for us providing chemical weapons to terrorist organizations?
You think Saddam Hussein was a terrorist organization? Like, what are you talking? You think Ba'athist Iraq was a terrorist organization?
Matt, that's what you said. The United States funds terrorists and gives them chemical weapons. I'm using your words.
No, so we funded terrorists in Syria, yes,
Yeah.
and we sent chemical weapons to Saddam Hussein, yes.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
like all
When
admitted.
did
Like
we-
everyone
when did we
knows that
send
Wait,
America was
chemical
funding
weapons?
Saddam
We're,
Hussein.
but okay, now we're talking about Saddam. We're talking about Syria. That we were giving dissident groups training and weaponry. I thought you were alluding to us also providing them with chemical weapons as a means to put us and the Syrian government on the same playing field, because they also use chemical weapons.
I also want to mention you have still yet to prove the claim that Obama's sanctioned had killed people directly in Iran. So you still not given a single number.
Well,
Yeah,
it
I
can't
was
be
going to look
direct.
for
Sanctions are not direct tests.
Obviously,
It's
it's not
an
gonna
indirect
be.
thing.
Obviously, it's not going to be direct.
Yeah.
It's going to be indirect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, maybe.
I never said direct.
Sorry,
What
hold
are you
on.
talking about?
Okay, so like, can you give me like a number? Maybe can you like maybe pull up any source that gives a specific amount of people that
sure.
died?
But when I do, don't start yapping about what I said about Syria. So I was going to look for what Obama's sanctions did in Iran, and then everyone started strawmanning what I said about Syria.
No, we didn't straw man. We said what you said verbatim.
You did, and you support
He's back
terrorists.
again. I don't support
I mean,
terrorists. It's not true.
Just,
So you don't
just to
support
kind
the
of
overthrow of Bashar al-Assad.
close this thing out. How chemical weapons have helped bring Assad to victory. 2018 BBC report is reporting by BBC Panorama and BBC Arabic. And it's sites of the 106. So they cite 106 chemical attacks in Syria 2014 to 2018.
Yeah, how did they
and how
determine
these
those
were
were used by
instrumental
Bashar
in
al-Assad?
Assad getting close to victory. And you're like, yes, Assad. That's the guy that should have remained
So how did
in
they
charge.
those chemical weapons were being used by Assad?
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters if he.
It
Sorry,
does.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't matter to you whether he did or didn't use chemical weapons. It's all fine. That's your position.
No, I never. I think it's. I don't think people should use chemical weapons. I'm just asking you, how did they
No,
determine
but you're
that
no,
he
no,
used
no.
chemical weapons?
You justified the use of chemical weapons because the United States supplied
No, I said don't come
Hussein
and
with
bitch
chemical
to me
weapons.
about. I said don't.
We
Stop,
can bitch.
stop,
I'm not
stop
the
trying
United
to
States.
You're
I
supporting
can be
the ousting of
upset
Bashar
with their
al-Assad.
fiscal policy.
And that was the justification Trump used to bomb Bashar al-Assad in Syria in 2018, was that he was using chemical weapons. So what I'm saying
Bro,
is,
why are
stop
we
talk-
looking
like,
at Trump's
you
foreign
care so much about
policy as a
chemical
means
weapons. I
to
mean, let's just be
gate?
clear here.
No,
You're
that's
supporting
bullshit. No,
demonize.
that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I don't know why we're continuing to use Donald Trump's foreign policy as a means to gauge where we stand on an issue.
Because
I don't
that's what
support.
happened.
I don't support Donald Trump's fucking foreign policy. That doesn't
So
mean
to be clear here,
that
you
does
do
not
not
mean
support-
that the Obama administration had malicious intent in the lead up to the JCPOA or they're looking to weaken Iran and backs them in the
what was
future.
Operation Timber Sycamore? So you keep asking all the questions that I answer. You want to answer anything? I'm
You
saying,
haven't
what was
provided any
Operation Timber
intelligence
Sycamore?
findings that they did this with the intent of like weakening Iran prior to the JCPOA.
Why do you think they didn't support Bashar? Why do you think they wanted to oust Bashar al-Assad in the first
Why
place?
would they support Bashar al-Assad, a fucking dictator? The United States has a history of not liking dictators.
They love dictators. What are you talking about?
Ostensibly, they're not supposed to. They stand against them.
They're not supposed
when
to.
they're
but you
adversarial,
read-
yeah.
Unfortunately, I got David. I have to play both sides here. We have helped dictators. However, I don't think the U.S. is pro-dictator. We're pro-influence, and that does mean, helping dictators, right?
Dude, basically,
I don't think it's that black and white though, Nexus.
Dude, the key
It
allies
isn't.
of America in the region besides Israel, they're all fucking dictator, like authoritarian monarchies, like Saudi Arabia, the UAE.
Yeah, and that's probably
Egypt.
wrong, right? But you recognize that diplomacy with these countries does not mean that we're overt supporters of the way their government operates, does it?
Yeah, that's absolutely. Why won't we
Okay.
sanction them for being authoritarian dictatorships?
Because the United States chooses to prop up dictators as a means of influence across the world, and I actually disagree with that. I think that we
Okay,
need to
so-
hold
okay,
Saudi Arabia
okay.
accountable.
Yes.
we
And
should.
I believe
Yeah.
David does too. So like that.
Yes.
But here's the thing, Nexus.
Okay,
we're not
then
talking-
don't
we're
say
not
that we
talking-
don't like dictators. We obviously love dictators.
So,
oh
we
my god,
don't-
it's so
oh my
fucking
God.
annoying.
So here's the thing, Nexus. What we're talking about right now is the claim that Obama had a malicious intent in Syria. And so let me just be very clear. Let's say that the point of us arming groups in Syria is to essentially decrease Iran's presence in the region. Why, if that is true, why would that even prove malicious intent? I don't understand.
It doesn't.
Like that just sounds like
Malicious
sounds
intent.
like,
Yeah, yo, the point is that we wanted to isolate and counter and circle Iran. That's what I'm claiming. We wanted to isolate them from the region. We wanted to get rid of their.
Yeah, we should do that. We should 100% do that. Why?
Why?
Why would we want? Okay, here's the reason why. Right.
Okay.
Let's think of this, and this is how the USA has operated foreign policy wise in the Middle East. It hasn't worked. Right. We cut off the head of the snake, and then two snakes grow in that head's place. Right. What you need to do to stop the snake from biting people is to put the snake in a box. That's what you have to do to Iran. You have to put them in a box. You have to stop them and reduce the military capabilities of terrorist and resistance groups across the Middle East. That is how we stop the terrorism. Because of the fact that I do believe that the United States, while we do have funded terrorist groups, it's always been in a reactionary stance. It's not been for the purposes of just causing fucking trouble. It's always to increase and protect United States interests. And what Iran has done is attack United States interests through funding proxies. If the proxies no longer exist, then there's nobody for Iran to fund. Ergo, there's no fucking bombs in the Middle East anymore because it's at peace because Iran can't fucking fund people.
Okay, so I can respond now. So, first of all, when it comes to like the human lives that were lost to sanctions, there was a report done on this. It's literally called The Human Cost of Sanctions on Iran. There was an estimated 6 million Iranians who were owned some type of disease, life-threatening disease, where it be cancer, AIDS, etc., and that relied on imported medicine. They couldn't get access to their medicine. There's literally no telling of how many people died as an indirect consequence of Obama's sanctions that lasted from, 2011 to 2013. Second thing you said is you know, the reason why we do all this stuff is so we can isolate Iran. It's been a disaster. It's been an absolute disaster. And I can tell you very easily how it's been a disaster. The first way is we extremely effed up in Iraq. I think we can all agree to that.
Agreed.
Overthrowing
Yeah,
Saddam
I agree.
Hussein.
The way that we have policy in the Middle East has been horrific, and I think the way
Well, it's because
that the Middle
hold
East-
on. The issue is that we essentially don't disagree much on U.S. foreign intervention, at least armed conflict. We fucked up with the war on terror. We're fucking up now with the war in Iran. Where we have a disagreement is, I guess, judging Iran as a good faith actor in the region, and rendering all efforts of United States diplomacy as not necessarily pointless but malicious, with the intention of doing more harm.
Well, we know America's a malicious actor because Iran. You just said it. We said we'll give you a deal. We'll cut back.
Republicans
on
are
the
malicious
sanctions,
actors. I don't give a fuck.
and so are Democrats. Correct.
No, fuck
and
no.
So
When you hold the right
Trump is sending us to Trump is sending us to war. Obama's making fucking deals. There's a huge goddamn difference.
But Obama also sent us to war. Like, I don't understand what you're talking
With Iran?
about. Whether it be a proxy a war in Syria or the aiding of the overthrow of Gaddafi in Libya, whatever you want.
But
like, I
those
don't
are
understand.
two. Hold on, those are two very different things.
No, they're not. They were all part of the.
Yeah,
Arab
they are.
Spring.
Oh no, no,
talking
no,
about?
no! Stop.
Yes, they were.
No.
So Libya wasn't. And Syria wasn't
Okay,
part of the
wait.
Arab Spring? What the
You're
fuck
not.
are you
You're
talking about?
misunderstanding what I'm saying. War in Iran right now is with what is it? 50,000 fucking troops deployed when they're planning to deploy tens of thousands more. Is the same as what we did in Libya.
Is it
Not
still
even close.
well, it's.
It doesn't make it okay, but those two things are very different
disastrous.
as to the scale and the effect of Democrat and Republican foreign policy.
No, what Obama did in Libya has been much more disastrous than what Trump has done to Iran. That's almost
that's complete
undeniable.
bullshit.
What?
They
That is
overthrew.
so-
They
that is the
overthrew.
most-
The Libyan government was overthrown. There's been much more civilian death than there was since the consequence of overthrowing Gaddafi. They've brought back slavery. You can't say there's people literally enslaved right now in Iran. What are you talking about?
So,
Well, I don't
so
think you
again,
could speak to. I don't think you could speak. I don't think you
Much more
could.
disastrous to the
Yeah, we don't
population
know.
than not overthrowing the
Nexus,
government.
Nexus, we don't know what the aftermath of this war is going to go. Like, we don't know exactly how horrible.
Oh no,
this
it's going to
could
be a humiliating
right?
American
So-
defeat.
So hold on, hold on. But I would agree that Libya's not doing well. However, I think
That's
that
a dude.
Iran,
That is such a that understatement's almost insulting.
fine, it's doing horrific. I don't know. I just chose a word to
It's
say that
completely
not doing good.
destroyed.
So okay, geez. I'm agreeing with you, my guy. The whole issue here is that we don't know what the aftermath of the Iran war will be. We don't know. It's probably going to be fucking worse than Libya because Trump is preparing to strike
it's
out their
not.
electric grid. Dude, Trump is literally about to strike their fucking electric grid. Let's not only forget the fact that Libya costed the U.S. taxpayers $7 billion, that we didn't have troops that were deployed directly into Libya the same way that we do in the Middle East right now. We use mostly drone strikes on Iran's bombing of Libya. Civilian casualties in the Middle East and Iran have been higher than what we did during the bombing campaign of Libya. So, I mean, it's
No.
just automatically...
Libya
Oh,
got into a
I'm gonna get some
civil
sushi.
war.
Fuck yeah.
Libya literally got into a civil war after fucking the overthrow of Gaddafi. Slavery was brought back. They're
Yeah,
in
but
absolute
again,
poverty.
okay.
The-
Hold
you
on, hold
can't
on,
do-
hold on. No,
stop,
no,
stop.
you stop. The failure,
Why
the
can't I
fail.
respond?
Bro, whatever. I was just ordering food. I don't give a fuck, bro. Whatever. Do your
Thank you.
fucking
Let me
thing.
respond.
You guys can have the
point that
conversation. I'm
making
gonna
is
step
you
back.
can't say that what Obama and Trump have done, it's not even comparable. Obama destroyed two countries. One country, Obama, the American intervention in Libya happened under Obama. One led to slavery. The other one led to a literal Al Qaeda bin Ladenite coming to power. That has not happened in Iran. So don't be like.
But it's not, so I'm not going to go ahead and play on hypotheticals. I know what's happened now, just like I know exactly what happened during the bombing campaigns, right? We have the numbers. We have the amount of bombs that were dropped, the amount of money that was spent. And right now, we've spent almost 5 times in Iran and dropped over used 5 times as much equipment in Iran than what happened in
And the
Libya. I think what
devastation that
happened
was
in
brought
Libya
to
is
Libya
bad.
was much more disastrous than what's been brought to Iran.
Yeah. So again, I think what happened in Libya was bad. I think that it was a poor decision. However, we don't know
I'm not
how.
we're not talking about what you think is bad.
So, but again, we
The
don't
conversation's
know.
all over the place. We're having like three
Yeah,
different fun
like
conversations at once. Yeah,
It's because you brought up so
I,
many different things.
so
that's not
it's
true. I've been centered on the same fucking
we
thing. Stop it.
we've been trying to be relatively consistent. However, all I'm saying is that we don't know how horrific this Iran war is going to be. However, if we want to draw comparisons between Libya and Iran, we can go to the numbers that directly involved it. So like we know the
Right.
numbers of how
We
many
can't
people
go to the
died in
numbers.
the
And
bombings.
what we know is Gaddafi was killed. The Libyan state does not exist anymore. Right. Human trafficking is back. And when it comes to Syria, you have an Al Qaeda leader in it, right? So that whatever you want to say what's going to happen to Iran, I can guarantee you that when it's over, human trafficking probably won't be there, and Al Qaeda sure the hell is not going to be there. Okay, so we can just say those two things with pretty unique certainty. The point of even bringing up Libya and Syria was the point that because of American intervention, specifically in Syria, it destroyed these countries. It just absolutely decimated them. Now, when it comes to, because you said this earlier, and there's something I'm much more interested in talking about. You said Iran, we should isolate Iran because it supports terrorist organizations and it
Militarily isolate, not like economically isolate.
yeah, militarily. Okay, those are like one and the same. The
No, it's not. I don't think that I think they should be allowed to, like economically progress and shouldn't, be like a slum. Obviously, I
yeah,
wouldn't
so
want that
I
for the
don't know if you
people.
know this, but like the way that you militarily isolate a country is so they don't have more money to put into their military. So
Yeah,
like
again, a military isolation would be a deal like the JCPOA, which said that Iran couldn't go around funding terrorist organizations, and if they did, then they wouldn't have the ability to, right? So like that's one
I don't think it
way
was in the
of
GP. I do not think it was in the JP. I don't think it was in the nuclear deal to say you can't fund Hezbollah anymore. Like I don't think it was in
it.
that.
Part of the deal was that like they can't use the assets that we gave back to them and the assets that they have financially, like to fund terrorist groups across the.
I think you made a really good point. The JCPOA did not it did not necessitate them ending assistance to those satellite terrorist organizations that they exercise influence through in the region. If don't you think if the goal was to completely defang Iran, that would have been one of the criteria and would have
No, 'cause
allowed for
Iran
the
can just
economics.
say no. Like
So
Iran can
wait. So, because we were looking for one thing and hoping that as time went on, we can continue to build on that relationship.
no, what we were looking for is to get
I can't,
them
bro.
to,
I need my
we were
sushi to
getting-
arrive, bro. I need my sushi to arrive, bro.
So no, what happened
It's
was
fucking
that we were
stupid.
looking for them. We were looking for them to just be like, please stop building nukes, even though they weren't planning on building nukes to begin with. So we made a deal with them. If we would have like kept on adding and more and more and more and shit onto the deal, they just would have said no. And so like the only point that I'm making here is that the reason why we went into Syria.
So you're telling me that you're telling me that the IRGC and the Ayatollah and that Guardian Council and that government, I guess those disastrous sanctions weren't really bad enough for them to end terrorist organizations. Yeah, they can endure them and the people can't. I don't know how you could blame the United States for the sanctions, even though it's the IRGC, it's the Iranian government that decided to double down.
So the government, right, America, should not just sanction people because they don't like what the country is doing when it comes to their foreign policy. They just shouldn't do that. Now, the country can just say no when it comes to this stuff. Like, look what they're doing now. America's supposedly blockading the Strait of Hormuz. Iran is still trying to dictate the peace talks. And
Iran is dictating. They're dominating the fucking peace talks.
Yeah, obviously. Because they don't give a fuck about the blockade. They don't care.
You say don't like their foreign policy as though their foreign policy was something benign, like they were making trade deals that the U.S. didn't like. When their foreign policy is sponsoring terrorist groups,
I don't recognize these groups as terrorist groups, dude.
Oh my god, I can't. I'm good. Heroes, gang.
David,
Wow.
David, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna kind of disengage here. However, Nexus, I want to understand. Do you think that a terrorist group and a resistance group can be the same thing?
Of course.
So
Bro,
would you say that Hamas is both a terrorist group and then also a resistance group?
The way that I understand it is a terrorist organization is, for example, a group.
It
A group that
targets
like engaged in
there's a
violence for
definition.
political
It's
is
all
like
right.
is like has like a political motivation to commit violence, right?
Yes, targeting civilians for political gain. So
Yeah, I
Hamas,
mean
while
you can say that all you want to, but like that means almost nothing to me.
that's the
What?
definition of a terrorist group, dude. That's like
Yeah,
literal.
and like the Minutemen did the same thing, dude. They're like well known as like heroes now in American history. Like I don't know what to
When
tell
did the
you.
Minuteman target civilians?
Dude, they used to tar fucking loyalists and like throw feathers on them.
When
It was
when
called
did they
literally
target?
there's a whole practice called feathering.
When did they bomb a civil? When did they bomb
I
civilians?
didn't say anything about bombing. I said they used to
Or
throw
when did
they
they
used
when
to
they
throw hot
when
tar
did they
and
do a
feathers
when did
on
they
these
do a
people.
they used to throw tar and feathers.
Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
Got it.
God damn
So
it.
tar and feathers is dude. I would throw
Do you
tar and
think
feathers on fucking
you think bombing
loyalists.
something that means it's an act of terrorism? There can be
I don't
many
know.
different acts of terrorism,
I think
dude.
that if the Sons of Liberty went to a fucking post office or something, or like a British ship, like a
Right, but
merchant ship,
just like
and went to den
assaulting
and
people by throwing like
so
hot tar
hold
on
on,
them, like that's
and
not
went
terrorism.
and went and again when they if they were sorry Isaiah, if like the Sons of Liberty went to one of like a British ship docked in a port and went onto that ship and stabbed and unalived a bunch of people that were civilians, I would say that they would be designated as terrorists, right? That's a fine line that I draw.
But you're
again,
not gonna say that the Minutemen were wrong for revolting, or the Sons of Liberty were wrong for revolting against the British government, though. Certainly not, right?
So again, I think it's a question of what do you consider wrong. It's a question of morality, right? I think people have different levels.
Let me ask you.
I think some people would say that they weren't justified, right? Because they were rebelling on what some people were just perceived to be taxes. But again, like I think the Sons of Liberty, right? They draw a fine line between a resistance group and a terrorist group. However,
Right, feathering, tarring, and
yeah,
feathering
they
people
draw a fine line, right? They draw a fine line. I consider them heroes because I don't like. I personally
Yeah, but they
would have
committed
also
acts against
threw-
civilians.
Hold on, but again, they didn't go ahead around murdering civilians on the level that Hamas did on October 7th, dude. They just
Well,
didn't.
obviously,
So-
obviously, the
so
fuck not.
I-
I'm cutting this shit
also-
short. I have to file something. Listen.
Do you think? What about the? Hold on. Let me ask this guy another question. What about the?
One
Haitian
last question.
slave
Hurry the fuck
rebellion?
up. Hurry the fuck up.
The Haitian slave rebellion were also terrorists, but then also a resistance group as well because they targeted civilians. However, they were also justified in their resistance because of the French oppression.
Thank you. And so is Palestine. Thank you. So easy. So is Hamas.
So again, like Hamas as an organization as it works right now is acting more of it in a terroristic way than a
No, they're
resistance
not.
way. Yeah, so there have not been nearly enough attacks at IDF posts or anything like that for it to be classified as a resistance group.
Oh, what would
Did
be
it
enough
arise?
for you, dude? What would be enough for
hold
you?
on. Hold on. Here's what I'll grant. Hamas rose.
Like, wait, how did the people of Gaza, the oppressed peoples, benefit from October 7th?
What do you mean? It was like a fucking revolt against Israel. What are you talking about?
It's not a
Bro.
revolt. It was just a target. It was a targeted attack, bro. Come
It
on.
was not, dude.
But
Like,
Hamas
how
is
many
also
IDF
oppressive of its
soldiers
own
were
people.
dead in October 7th? What the fuck are you talking about? This is
Bruh.
also saying like if
Bruh.
like a bunch of settlers, dude. Can you imagine if a bunch of settlers?
I'm fucking done. I'm not doing this shit anymore. Hold on, bro. I
And,
need to
like,
lock in.
the-
I need
yeah,
to
it's
follow
like,
something.
stop
I have something
salting-
important to do.
stop salting
We're done with
them.
this shit. Hold on. I'm dropping everybody.
Thank.
Listen, guys. I need to I need to go. I can't stress it enough. Listen, liberals. I'll catch you safe. The fucking Bolshevik shitter. You can stop watching my content. I don't fucking like you radical liberals, okay? I'm not a liberal. Just wait for it. They're going to put it in the chat. Okay. Listen. I love you all so much. Don't do anything stupid. To the 40 people that followed during this live stream, make sure you follow the main account. I'm going to be back on there. Follow after Friday. Tomorrow I'll be on with Adam Kahn reacting to his Jesse Lee Peterson interview. It's going to be fucking lit. Mikey, talk to you tomorrow. So yeah, everybody stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. Don't kill yourself. Don't break the law. Eat healthy. Sleep better. Overachieve at school. Overachieve at work. And I'll catch you guys soon, okay? 1 second. 5 seconds for the delay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Goodbye. Bye-bye. And to you fucking liberals on YouTube, I love you guys so much. Just kidding. Love you, buddy.